everyone when and where the festival will be held.
Okay, well, this will be our third annual festival, and the festival is always the first Saturday in November. So this year, that's November 7th. We start with a parade at 10 o'clock, and then the festival goes on until about 5 o'clock. And I tell you, if it's like the first 2 years, it'll be packed. At 5 o'clock, we're having to move people out of the way to go through and try to clean up and get done. It's very, very well attended. The festival is in Broxton on 441.
Okay.
We close 441 from where Railroad Street intersects with it on the south to where Railroad Street intersects with it on the north.
Okay.
And then the festival itself generally starts just north of the traffic light there in Broxton and then continues on up north. There's usually some events in the bank parking lot over by the fire department in that area as well.
All right. Well, let's start. You mentioned about the parade. Parade starts at what time again?
The parade starts at 10 o'clock.
And lineup for the parade starts where?
About 9:15, and it starts at the Tree of Knowledge on the north side of Broxton.
Most everyone in this community knows where that is.
Everybody
If not,
knows where
just
the
ask somebody.
Tree of Knowledge, yes, that's correct.
Okay. Do you know if there's any pre-entry for the parade, or it should just contact someone to find out?
We need to, yeah, you need to contact us. We'll talk later, but Sheila Butler or myself or John Dockery, somebody like that, so that we can
Okay.
make sure that we've made provisions. There's going to be a pretty good showing in the parade this year. The usual fire and police, as well as some school kids
Great.
from Broxton and other areas. We've got motorcycles, antique tractors, antique cars, so it'll be a really pretty good parade.
Well, good, good. Now, what other sorts of things can people expect from the festival? I know there's going to be food vendors, but what other type of vendors?
Well, I mean, the food is the best part for
Oh,
me.
yeah.
Okay, and there'll be plenty of people serving chicken livers and gizzards, but lots of other food as well. Then
Any arts and crafts?
You have
or
the
general
arts and
vendors?
crafts, and yeah, general vendors like you would at any street fair. There's a lot of interesting things in that area. Then there's things for kids to do. There's face painting. I think there's some bouncy houses being contemplated. And then there's also going to be entertainment. We have had a sound stage the last 2 years
Okay.
with entertainment for adults. And we've had it on kind of the south end of the festival the last 2 years. This year we're going to try to get it in the middle, so it'll be more up around City Hall in that area, so that we can get a better showing. In the past, by the time you got all the way to the north end of the festival, you couldn't hear the sound stage anymore. So we want to get it in the middle. And I don't know who all we have lined up, but I know last year it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of good entertainers involved, and I believe we had some Zumba there, so we had a big crowd
Music
involvement
is
at that
always
point.
a great compliment
Yes,
to
it
an
is.
event. Now, is there a certain time that the music stage will be running?
Stage will start running as soon as the parade is over,
Over.
and it will run until 5 o'clock.
Okay, good. So if there are any vendors out there who would like to sign up to vend during this event, what should they do?
Well, there's a number of options. We can contact the City of Broxton at their phone at 359-2060. You can go on the website, cityofbroxton.com, and online there's some paperwork there that you can fill out. Or you could contact myself again, or Sheila Butler, or John Dockery, or Benny Dockery with Eagle Mark Properties, and we can help you out with that.
Okay. Well, I know at any event that you're trying to do, and you mentioned yourself, I know you're on the committee as well as some others, volunteers. Do you have a need for volunteers, and if so, what capacity do you need volunteers, and how would someone sign up to be a volunteer?
Absolutely can use volunteers. They just get a hold of one of us. We meet about once a month, although now that we're close to the festival, we'll probably be meeting every 2 weeks trying to get the details nailed down. We'll need volunteers to do everything from calling vendors and lining up communications with them to being there on the day of the festival. About 5 o'clock in the morning, we start having vendors come. Some come the night before. We have to line them up and let them get set up in the street, and there's always activities around that, to just general security and during the event. So there's a lot of things that we need volunteers to do.
Great, great. Something else I want to ask you about, Gary, is the need for sponsorship. With any festival, I know, believe me, what helping to organize festival for the city of Douglas, it takes funds to put these festivals on, although they're free admission a lot of time to the public, but someone has to foot the bill for it. So is there a need for sponsors, and if so, share with everyone what you're looking for in areas of sponsorship.
We certainly can use some sponsors. There is not a lot of expense in this festival. We've got a model that is not as expensive as some, but there is still expense. And as I mentioned, the city of Broxton has been very good about working with us, making sure that we have insurance, giving us support in areas that we need.
That's great.
But they are not funding this festival. It has to be self-supporting, so sponsorship is important. We will take free advertising. We'll do other that kind of in-kind. We can also take money, and then those kind of sponsors, we can make sure that it is known that they have helped. Again, they can get with myself or Sheila or Benny or John. I also can go to Ultimate Graphics. Ultimate Graphics is handling a lot of our sponsorship and our advertising, so they can go talk to the people there.
Okay, it's mentioning Ultimate Graphics, is that going to be your official T-shirt vendor?
They are the ones that are working with us on the T-shirts, correct?
Okay, and how much were your shirts? Do you know how much they're going to sell for?
I don't remember what we're going to be selling them for this year now,
Okay.
but it's a bargain. They're really nice shirts. In the past, we've tried to get some different colors. What we decided to do this year is we're going to go with purple and gold, and we think we're going to stay with that going forward because that is the Broxton school colors.
Of course, of course. Is there anything else, Gary, that people would need to know about the Broxton Chicken Livers and Gizzards Festival?
I just need to come out. It is a really good time. It is really packed. Everybody enjoys the entertainment, the food, the camaraderie. Been to a number of festivals in the area, and I think this is by far the best one. So we just need everybody to come out on November 7th and have a good time.
All right, well, we want everyone to definitely support the third annual Chicken Livers and Gizzards Festival in Broxton. And before you leave today, if you would tell everyone as much information, contact information that you can, just share with everyone today before we leave.
Certainly. If you have further questions, or you want to volunteer, or you want to be a vendor at the Broxton Festival this year, please contact the City of Broxton or go to the City of Broxton's website where there's some information, or you can contact myself, Gary Evans, at Premium Peanut. You can get John Dockery at Atkinson and Griffin in Broxton. You can get with Sheila at Colony Bank in Broxton, or with Benny Dockery at Eagle Mark Properties.
All right, Gary, well, thank you for all this information today, and we wish you all a great success again this year with the festival.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll be back with more Douglas on My Mind right after this break.
WDTV 13. Programming is sponsored by
Vickers Audio and Glass Tinting, supporting our local programming on WDTV 13. Storage Solutions, etc., locally owned and operated and located at 1010 Bowens Mill Road, Southeast in Douglas. American Truck Parts Incorporated, a proud sponsor of WDTV 13 programming. Harper & Company Builders, serving Douglas and Coffee County for 29 years. And a proud sponsor of community programming.
Aiden's Minute Market. When you're out, we're in.
Roscoe Allen Jr. and Gubas Modular Buildings in Osceola, Georgia. We proudly support local programming on WDTV 13. Dewey Hayes Jr., attorney at law, selected to the top 100 trial lawyers in the state of Georgia. Fletcher Oil Company, since 1966, has been supporting local activities and a proud sponsor of community programming on WDTV 13. Fletcher Oil Company is a member of the Women's Business Enterprise National Council.
McCrary Daniels Insurance Agency.
If you want your pizza fixed just right, chances are you'll go to Danny's. If you're celebrating a birthday, Holtz is probably fixing the cake you'll put the candles on. And if your wedding ring needs an adjustment, you'll find yourself at Crawford Jewelers. But if it's you who needs fixing, it should definitely happen here. Coffee Regional Medical Center in Douglas, Georgia. We fix things better here.
We're back from break, and joining me on the show now is Danny McCarty, who is the wellness coordinator for the Coffee Regional Medical Center. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, George.
Did I get your title right?
No.
No, what is it?
It's close enough.
What's it correct?
It's the director of the Wellness Center and Cardiac Rehab.
There it is. Danny McCarty, who is the director of the Wellness Center and Cardiac Rehab. You have quite a job there. I'm sorry I didn't get it right, but welcome to the show. And you're here today because it's time almost again for the Health and Safety Fair. If you would tell everyone when it is and where it's going to be held and what time.
Okay, the Health and Safety Fair this year is going to be on October the 3rd from 8:30 to 12. And it's a Saturday, of course, as always, and it's going to be I think it's going to be a very great day for people of Coffee County and Douglas.
Okay, and where's it going to be held?
It's going to be held downtown at the Parks and
Central Square Complex.
Central Square Complex.
Central Square Complex.
I always want to
That's
call it
right.
the Parks and Rec Department.
It is a part of it. It is a part of it. It's
Many
200.
facets.
Yeah, 200 South Madison Avenue. If you will, just explain to everyone the role of the public health will take in this health fair. What people can expect from this event.
Okay, the big thing is that we have a combination of the Coffee Regional Medical Center, the City of Douglas, and the Health Department that comes together as kind of the sponsors of this program. It is basically an outreach program for our community that's going to provide you with different opportunities for health and wellness and safety. And when we're talking about health, wellness, and safety, we're talking about people coming in with the opportunity to learn more about how to better take care of their health. Maybe they want to understand seatbelt safety or understand their blood pressure, heart disease, bone problems, skin problems. We have a ton of different vendors there that's medical related that maybe you just don't have the opportunity or didn't even know that we had in this community.
So it's a great way to come out and learn about all the medical professions in the community, especially if you don't have a primary doctor.
Primary care physician.
That's right.
And yes, and there will be a ton of physicians there, or physician practices, excuse me, as well as Coffee Regional will represent all the different practices that are available now. We have a lot of new physicians in the community, and they're here to offer different kinds of screenings for people, and we'll encourage everyone to come out and take part in that as well.
Do you know how many years it makes that you all have been putting on this health and safety fair? I know it's been many.
Oh, it's been like 26 years maybe?
Yeah, I would think so.
I actually
If not, it's getting close to it, I'm sure.
I looked it up the other day, and I do believe it was in the mid-20 range because I was like surprised. I know that it started at South Georgia State College there and then has moved several different locations since.
That is true.
I was looking at some of the history behind it. Of course, it's probably almost as old as I am.
Okay, we're going to keep going.
keep going.
One thing that I know that has become quite popular, I guess a tradition of this fair, is the blood work.
Oh, yes.
Yes, you want us to talk about that?
Yeah, definitely. Let's discuss the opportunity to come and have your what we call a biochemical analysis or complete blood profile done. Okay, so the complete blood profile will include your lipid profile as with if you're a male, an HSA, excuse me, a PSA. So for a lot of people in the community, they don't have an opportunity to, or if they don't have insurance, they don't have an opportunity to get their blood work done at a reasonable cost. So the blood panel is $30 for anyone who comes and have it done. My recommendation though is if you are general public and you're just wanting, maybe you're a senior and you just want to make sure that you get your blood work done, come maybe 6 to 8 hours fasting. If you are someone who's doing it for their work and you got to be more precise with your blood lipid, maybe you like to eat a little bad, or you better go 12 hours before you actually have it done. that way, hopefully, everything will turn out within normal limits.
Okay.
And your insurance will remain the same, because a lot of employers will actually, if you take your receipt that you get at the health fair, if you take your receipt back to your employer, a lot of the employers will actually reimburse you for that $30 for having it done. And
That's neat.
and what that does is, a lot of people, even through their employer, they do not have insurance, or maybe they have it through someone else. And this blood profile is probably, at least, I'm guessing, $250-ish plus dollars.